dose of wild. It might be time to plan your next trip here to Scovill Zoo. We're excited to be here with director Ken Fry and Camel Jack here.
Yeah.
Ken, it's so great to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here with you as well. Yeah, and you said this is Jack, our back-trained camel, and he's 8 years old.
Okay.
And he's our largest animal here at Scovill Zoo, weighing over 1,600 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And he could get up even over 2,000 pounds. And he loves to eat these alfalfa cubes.
I'm sorry, Jack, I teased you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see his lip there, but it's actually like a split lip, you know, on top, and they use it just to kind of grab and pick up items, and they have multiple stomachs, like 3 stomachs, like a goat or something would have.
So what does that mean? Do they just eat a lot?
Yeah, they eat a lot of grass and bark and leaves, and so when you chew it the first time, you don't get a whole lot of nutrient out of it. But by bringing it back up and chewing it again later, you can kind of squeeze all the nutrients out of it that you need. I think a really cool thing about camels, which I think camels are really cool, the back-trained camel comes from the Gobi Desert in the wild, which is the China, Mongolia area of the world. And actually in that area of the world, the wild camel there is actually highly endangered. There's only a few hundred left in that region of the world. And but the domesticated one, like Jack here, are fairly common. He was born at the Cincinnati Zoo, and there's probably 1 million of the back-trained camels around the world. So the domesticated one isn't as threatened as the actual wild ones are in the Mongolia area of the world. And they're just really built for the desert environment. You can see how the nose kind of comes down to these little slits there, so they can close down if there's sand or something blowing. There's really bushy eyebrows there to kind of keep the sand and stuff out. The bushy ears there. And you see he has very little hair on his body right now, and he's saying right hello to the camera
what is that?
But he grows a really thick fur in the wintertime. So in Mongolia, the area there, they grow like a 5-inch fur around their body that keeps them warm over the wintertime. So he's actually very well adapted to Illinois weather.
Oh, wow.
So it gets cold in the wintertime. He grows a really thick fur, and then if you came here in May or April, he'd be shedding that off. You know, in early June, he looks pretty ragged at that time, getting rid of his winter fur, and we actually help him by coming out and just pulling.
Can I feel this?
Yeah, you can feel it in front there.
Wow.
Very soft.
Very soft.
There. Yeah, and so, but yeah, and then the feet. Look at the feet themselves. They're like the size of dinner plates. You know, and when they spread out there. And but if he's walking in sand like he is right there, it just kind of helps keep the body up. This 2,000-pound body up off the sand. So they're just very well adapted. And of course, the humps themselves. The very iconic camel hump. They store fat and minerals in those humps. And if they ever get hungry or need, they go without food for a long time, without water for a long time, that actually live off the minerals and the fat of that hump to survive. And so they can go a month without eating and days upon days without drinking water. And when they do drink, they can drink up to like 30 gallons of water at a time, and just in a few minutes.
How do you possibly keep up with that here?
Well, yeah, that's when they're really thirsty. So we have a big tank down there, and we check it a couple times a day just to make sure that they're filling it up. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So again, what are we feeding him right now?
Alfalfa cubes. So it's a hay product. You can see like little strands of hay there.
He really likes these.
He does, and there's a couple treats that he really does enjoy, and we're almost out. So we.
He's like, I'll take that last bit.
I'll take a lot. Yeah.
Wow, so, I don't think I realized how big a camel is until you just see the size of Jack's head. I mean,
a huge head.
So cool.
It's like the size of your body. It's just a big area head, and so and we have a scale back here that we do keep constant weights on him that he walks through, and
well, he seems so kind, like a very gentle temperament.
He is. Yeah, he's an awesome camel. There is certain times of the year when he might get a little more grabby, and that's when he goes through rut. This is the dating season for camels, and so he gets a little more aggressive at that time and doesn't really like guys, at that time as much. So
he just knows his territory.
But Jack and I are buds, so we do well together, and he's always been very personable and very easygoing with people.
Very easygoing.
We had another camel that I would not trust like this, and she would, if you put your hand up, she would eat your hand.
Oh no!
And he's very good about not eating parts of your body, so that's good.
Well, Jack is just one of the highlights of Scovill Zoo. What are the other animals that people can come and find here? Yeah,
well, we have cheetahs actually just right behind Jack here. We have another younger camel. We can go find him a little later.
Cool.
That's just 1 year old. He's about half the size of Jack right now. And
is he full
zebras?
Grown?
Yeah, Jack is full grown. The other one's kind of just a 1 year old, so he's kind of on his way. And monkeys and wolves and cheetahs and camels. So a lot of fun stuff to see here at Scovill Zoo.
And there's a free day that is a really huge incentive that people should definitely mark on their calendars as the time to come every time.
Yeah, and that's a very popular day. Probably a quarter to a third of our admission of the year is free admission days, and so they start coming in June. The Thursdays in June are free, and every Thursday from June through October 6th are free admission. So there's people here today in camps taking advantage of it here today, and all the way through the end of early October, I guess is when the last one will be.
Well, it's really packed here today. It's so cool to see our community enjoying what a treasure we have. Let's talk any fun things happening in August people should know about.
Yeah, August we actually go back to our summer or fall hours, I should say. We're in summer hours right now, which is 9:30 to 6, 7 days a week.
Wow.
And then when we get to the second week of August, we just cut an hour off during the week. Kids are going back to school, and it's just an easier staffing thing, to have 1 hour less during the week.
Absolutely.
And it helps you breathe a little.
Yes. And there's nothing like a trip to the zoo. I mean, it's so fun. You get to relax. You get to meet animals like Jack, which is so fun, and what
awesome
a treat.
Animals.
And just a really cool place in our community to visit. Ken, thank you so much for this cool up-close encounter with Jack. We'll connect you with how you can plan your visit to Scovill Zoo on our website, CILiving.tv.